It was her right femur right above her knee. So
that's since healed and
it healed fast actually. But I mean, and I learned from that she still has the healing process of what a kid would really fast.
That's good.
But it's a completely different mechanism that makes the bones break easy and compared to the whole heal, because I thought it would affect the healing. Seems like it would.
Sure. They stopped, but your orthodox stopped casting her arms, right, and hasn't casted her.
We haven't casted because we decided we were going to wait and decide what we were going to do with the splinting, because it would make more sense to do the splinting right after the casting. And
okay. And we didn't do Botox. Family didn't do Botox last time because everything was in a waiting process.
Yeah, which I guess it kind of is.
Still probably a little bit.
Yeah, the whole.
Maybe not for lowers.
Oh yeah, we definitely do her legs, her adductors, and her hamstrings because she gets really ouchy. And like she's already been complaining the last couple of weeks. And
it's time when you start complaining, huh?
Yes.
To mom. Now you were in contact with Matt. Not to jump back and talk about the arms again, her arms again, but and Matt said Dynasplint's not covered with your insurance, correct? But you were saying that your insurance would cover a dynamic, or not a dynamic, but a custom-made splint. That's interesting. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I do remember that now.
Wow. So thought processes right now, waiting for the bone building meds to get covered before we go anywhere in terms of splinting.
I mean, we could probably go slow, and it would be okay. But I think
she did serial casting, right? That was what she did with her ortho doc.
And actually, she was fine with her arms because that was right before her leg was broken. But just the fact that it broke so easily.
Absolutely.
That I mean, we were just bending. She was tight because it was almost Botox time, and we were just bending it because she was, just stretching it out and keeping it there. And usually she bends fairly easy. I mean, you can tell she's stiff, and it just right above her.
Horrible for you.
Well, luckily I kind of knew because I wasn't sure. I mean, that if it was broken, I knew it was maybe a possibility because we just had been to the bone clinic not too long, or we wouldn't have. In West Virginia, they don't really offer the bone clinic. We would have really had no idea about bone density and that it's a problem with CP, and so with her breaking, if she would have broken it and we had no knowledge that it was a possibility.
It would have been horrible.
Yeah, we've definitely found out since then that it happens a lot.
Tell us a little bit about, I know we've talked a lot about how OT talks about daily living skills and what she does on a daily basis in terms of self-care and play and school. And for self-care, is she doing anything to help with self-care, or is she pretty much dependent with?
She's totally dependent.
Okay. Now I can't recall, is she eating primarily, does she have a tube?
No,
She
she
feeds by mouth.
eats a puree diet, and we use a Haberman feeder still with Pediasure.
Okay.
Like 3 times a day.
Okay. And she tolerates that fine, no gagging, choking. Is she only on pureed because she had a swallow study and isn't safe for thinner liquids, or does she cough or choke when she's?
She definitely has a harder time with thinner liquids. In her swallow studies, they thought she was okay. She does have like about a 3-second delay, and they that was also done twice when she was really small and older, and it was still about the same with the 3-second delay. But they felt that she wasn't in danger of pneumonia or anything like that.
She hasn't had respiratory problems or whatnot.
She has not actually had any respiratory problems, even though you can tell that she does have problems sometimes eating. Depends on the day.
Is this her typical position for eating, or do you have her more upright or more reclined, or in her chair or elsewhere?
I either hold her or she is like this, kind of reclined.
Okay.
It's actually the easiest if you are holding her, because you can kind of control if she has to sit up more or lay back more.
Sure.
But she, especially because she goes to school and stuff, you have to practice sitting in her chair and eating.
Sure.
So
now, typically when you're feeding her, does the liquid or the purees go back pretty easily, or does a lot come out in the front, or?
It will come out if she's not reclined somewhat, and there's when I use the Haberman feeder bottle, you have to use a whole technique. I don't know if you know, like the preemie technique that they do a lot of times.
Habermans are hard to feed from. Yeah, that's.
It was like the easiest one because she could never really do a regular nipple. And actually, for years, she used it's the preemie milk nipple that they started her on in the hospital. She wouldn't use anything else.
And now, not to interrupt you, but have you tried a spoon for periods? Is that not?
Oh yeah, we do. We don't use the Haberman. We use the Haberman for Pediasure.
Oh, gotcha. So she's getting liquid Pediasure.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought she was getting everything a period consistency. I didn't realize that. Well, good.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to open cup, like just controlled sips of open cup? Does she just not control that as well? Or?
We do it. She just doesn't keep a lot in.
Okay.
Or she can cough a lot, but she does do it. I mean, and her teacher at school does it a lot. She does, doesn't she? There's a family support grant that you can apply for.
Oh, in West Virginia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Up to $1,000 per year.
Okay.
So it would at least pay for 1.5. And he did say that the Dynasplints for the elbows can be used on both arms, but
You could switch profile. That's a good idea.
we talked about her wrists also. At some point, and those would have to be for the right and left, of course. But
Did we ever use the Dynasplints immediately after the Botox?
mm-mm.
No. Because that would be something, like if you're going to purchase it yourself, if you're going to invest in something that big, I wonder if the Dynasplint people will let us borrow
That's a good idea.
the Botox. I mean the Dynasplint, you know. What is it in West Virginia, the crippled children?
You know, they just are not paying for any equipment anymore.
Not anymore.
And actually, I just was trying to figure out the process of how do you go and complain, and that I need to go to my, city councilman,
Yeah, exactly.
and then figure out who to complain to, because they said if we don't start complaining, they probably will never start paying for because Children's Special Health Care needs paid for any equipment that your insurance wouldn't pay for, or even regular Medicaid wouldn't pay for. They would, it would go through them, and they really are not paying for anything except
right now.
They'll pay for like the basic orthopedic appointment and
if you do, then you have to go to Kentucky to get because I know Shriners will pay for equipment, right?
I guess that is what we would have to do.
I wonder
They
if
said it
maybe
would be
visiting them in Kentucky for once so that we can get, maybe.
There is somebody I can talk to in Parkersburg. The person I talked to here that told me, who I needed to talk to, and that I would actually have to go to the Kentucky hospital to get, all of that stuff. So, I mean, if that is so, we don't mind driving to Kentucky.
Yeah, just to get the braces,
yeah.
I'm wondering, so you don't have to.